Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Friday afternoon. And I was just checking. I hadn't checked them in several hours, and every now and then I check comments just to see what the new comments have come through and all. And there's a function on there where I can look and see if about new comments of videos in the past, like especially I looked the last few videos last week or so, and I don't know if they're real people. I think they're real people. They're not bots, but I think they're real people actually. But it's hilarious because I get called everything from a blue moron Democrat to a MAGA pedo this and that, and MAGA lover and MAGA. So it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So that's mild. Those are the mild ones. I won't repeat some of the others that I get and some of the emails I get, y'all. There's some evil people in this world, and it's quite something. And I knew that going into this before I even started doing videos, but and in my work and all, I see a lot of different stuff, but especially online, with social media, you can hide behind that, and it really does. There's a lot of really good too. There's a lot of good stuff, and a lot of you guys are just awesome, and a lot of you have been with me for a long time now, for years. I appreciate it. I'm flattered, to watch me for this long. I mean, but I'm really honored, and I'm flattered by that. I really am. So that's the majority. The overwhelming majority, 99% or so, is positive. But wow, these people need help, y'all. They need help. They're angry. They might be possessed. I'm thinking some are definitely demon possessed, based on what I see, what I read. Really. Anyway, I didn't plan on even saying that, but I was just checking comments before I started recording this. So we are being lied to. You probably kind of already get that already, but I just have to say it. We are being lied to on a level that I don't know. I think it's ramped up. I think it's even worse. And from many sources, I'll go a little more into that. I have some other news items I'm going to go through here. ICE, Department of Homeland Security, Immigration Control Enforcement is hiring big time. I'm going to go into that. And I have a little, I don't know if you could call it a concern, but something that doesn't quite sit well with me on that. I'll go into that. I have a terrific passage I will share with you from the Bible as well. First, a couple of things. Now, this happened earlier this week. Ontario, Canada unveiled, you want to talk about idolatry now, unveiled a 51-foot statue of the Hindu god Lord Ram. Now, I've never heard of this stuff. Of course, I'm not into idolatry, but Lord Ram, this is a Hindu god. You should see this thing. It's disgusting. 51 feet tall. It's the tallest Lord Ram statue in North America. I don't know what's going on in Ontario, Canada, but man, those people need to check themselves, is what I think. They need to check themselves, and I pray that Jesus can find a way. They can find their way to Jesus and speak to their hearts. I really do. I pray that. I truly do. These people are lost, but that's just something. It reminds me of something from the Bible. The golden calf, the Tower of Babel kind of thing. I know it's not the same, but it just made me think of those things. Baal, all these idols. Idols can take a lot of different shapes, though, and sizes, right? Anyway, also follow up on the Trump supposed meeting with Putin and Zelensky and all that kind of stuff. The latest I've heard, and I know this can change within an hour, but the latest I've seen on that is that Trump, or the White House, has asked the premier of Italy, I think her last name is Meloni. Anyway, asking if Italy can host a three-way meeting between Trump, Zelensky, and Putin. Now, I have pretty much zero confidence this will happen, and that's terrible to say, but now it might be more likely that it's just Putin and Trump, or just Trump shows up. He might be the only one that shows up, man, because he sounds like he's the only one that kind of wants peace, and then sometimes I wonder if he really does too. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I don't know anymore from day to day, y'all. Anyway, that's the latest I can tell from that. Also, ICE, Immigration Control Enforcement, Custom Enforcement. I think so. Anyway, Department of Homeland Security hiring thousands of more ICE agents to carry out deportations and such, y'all. Tens of thousands new ones. You know, on one level it makes sense, because if you're really going to carry out this on this level of deportations they've been talking about and leading up to, and even in the election, it would require a huge buildup of forces to do this. On the other hand, the two things that come to mind is, one, it took you this long to figure, 200 days in, it took you this long to figure out you're going to need more people to do this job. I would think this should have been kind of leading up to, you know, inauguration day or right after, and get this thing going right away. That's number one. Number two is, my concern is, if you're hiring thousands, tens of thousands of these new agents to do this, and you're giving them a badge, you're giving them a lot of power, okay, what, you know, are they only going to do this one job, or what kind of other creep can this go into? You know what I mean? Like, these are humans, you know, and does this carry over to the next administration after Trump? What if a Democrat gets in? How's that going to be used? Who's it going to be used on? You see where I'm going with this? History teaches us these things can lead to bad places and bad times, bad things. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I pray it doesn't. I hope, you know, it doesn't. But you know, future, what precedents are we setting here? Is he setting? Is it, you know, and I'm all for deportations, deport illegals. Absolutely. They've broken the law. Go after the criminals first. That's what they're doing. At the same time, I think it's just something to keep an eye on and keep a check on. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not being disloyal or anything like that. Okay? Don't buy that line. You know, especially future administrations. What if somebody got in there like I'm not even gonna name names, but you know, I think it could be dangerous down the road. It could be. We need to keep watch on this. All right. I think it's funny that they call Trump a king when Biden, I mean, look at he tried to force every citizen in the country to take a ticket. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I just kind of ran through my head. But anyway, ICE is hiring all these people, and they've even removed the age limit, y'all. They've even removed the age limit on hiring, because I think it was 21. You had to be at least 21 to be hired by ICE or the Homeland Security in this fashion. But they've removed that age limit. In other words, the youngest now you could be is 18. They can hire somebody as young as 18 now. And it didn't say on the old end now Now, the limit that was in place before was, I think, 37 or 40, depending on what department you're going to be in, what your job will be. But that's been done away with. So they've lifted that out, the higher age limit. They said they've eliminated that. And on the young age, it's down to 18. So I'm tempted to give me a second on that. I'm tempted to apply for ICE and just to see what the reaction, just to see what happens, to see if I get a response. Would they, a 60-year-old white dude with a bum knee? I don't. Not that I would want to, but I'm almost curious just to see if I would get a response on this. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's intriguing at least, but we'll see where all that goes. I don't know. There's just a part of it that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Does that make sense? I know I'm going to get even more crazy comments. I know, it's coming. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. I love it. All right. But really though, if you think about it, that coupled with all they're doing, the Palantir mass surveillance systems, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. You're being lied to, for sure. You're being lied to on multiple levels. I'm still waiting on the UFO. What's the deal with the UFO drone thing we had right at the first of the year or end of last year? We still know nothing on that, really. Still waiting on the Epstein files, of course. Still waiting on Fort Knox, among other things. But you're being lied to about how jobs are. Jobs are fine. We're going to go up on jobs when they're not. Unemployment rate is much higher than what they're saying. Inflation's down. Inflation's come down some. No, it hasn't. Have you gone to a store lately? Have you tried to buy anything lately? Not just food, gas, anything else. The economy's great. We're the hottest country going right now. The economy's great. We're bringing in billions of dollars. I'm just a regular person here. I'm just a regular middle class person doing the things. And it doesn't look like that to me. And I'm not alone in that. It does not look like that to me. Okay? Cost of living, wages, employment, unemployment, jobs, layoffs. I have people, y'all, I have friends that tell me, they're like, dog, every time I go into work, I'm afraid I'm gonna get laid off. Every day I go in, I think it could be the day. To the point to where they have no more personal items. They don't bring any more personal items to work anymore. They've taken them. They had stuff there, like you had the picture and the whatever on your desk. They've taken them out because if and when they get the word, it's just a matter of leaving. Maybe a couple of things, you can take, but it's all pretty much you ready to go. You travel light. We call it traveling light. Isn't that sad? But so many companies are cutting. Automation, artificial intelligence is creeping in already. They're wanting to cut the headcount. They want to look good. They don't care. Customer service, quality be damned. They don't care. I hear from so many people. I hear from family members and friends. They don't care. They just want to look good to the shareholders. Oh, well, the stock looks good. The stock prices just keeps going up. Well, that's nice. But you just cut half your headcount. And by the way, your customer service is terrible now because you just got rid of all your customer service agents and their computers now are somebody overseas trying to talk to your customers right now. And they don't like that. Your quality is slipping. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about you. Customer service. It used to be the norm that customer service was pretty good. And it used to be the exception that it was bad. But it's the opposite now. Now it's the norm that customer service is bad. And it's the exception that it's good. It's so bad that when you get something good, like a good customer service experience or something like that, it's like, dang, I got to tell everybody about it. It's sad, really. That's why if I can help it, I only get gasoline or walk into like if I got to go to the bathroom, get a Coke, get a snack. If I do something like that, I go into Quick Trip. If I can, if I'm near one, I go there. Because by and large, when you go in there, they actually speak to you like you're a human being. And they look like they've had a bath. They got a clean shirt on. They can speak. They speak English. And they're pretty courteous, actually. And they'll actually make a little small talk. And if you're a regular there, they kind of, they get to know you. That's rare, y'all. It's so rare. Anyway, they just want to keep the shareholders happy, stock market high. Oh, we're good now. Profits are up. Of course they're up. You ain't got nobody working there no more. Who's making your stuff now? Offshore, you got layoffs, you got offshoring. So customer service is being handled, or even technical stuff being handled by somewhere on the other side of the earth. They're using AI tools even to look at people's resumes, hire, even job interviews. I'm hearing that job interviews are being done some by AI, especially the first one if it's by phone. You're not even talking to a human. How degrading is that? How terrible. That's the future, I guess. They're missing out on qualified people. I know people, and I hear a lot from y'all in messages, or some email me, and in the comments. I have all this experience. I've got, and I'm not looking for the top dollar. I just want to work. But I can't even get a call back. Can't even get a call back. Can't even get a text, nothing. And I got all these skills. Just want to work. So they're telling you the economy's good. They're telling you that unemployment is not bad. Jobs are going to be fine. We're going to bring all these jobs in. Inflation's down. So the government, media, especially mainstream, all saying the same thing. They all got the same memo. That's my observation. What do y'all think? But that is my observation. And you know what? The American people are tired of being lied to. They're sick and tired of it. And more are catching on to it too. That's the truth. And they're just tired of it. And I don't know where a breaking point comes. I don't know what's going to happen. But I don't know. It's terrible. Anyway, I don't want to make this too terribly long. I'm going to go to a passage. We're going to, let's see, where am I? I'm going to the book, I'm in the Old Testament, Habakkuk. If I'm pronouncing that right, Habakkuk was a prophet. But I'm in Habakkuk, and it is chapter 3, starting at verse 16, says, I heard, and my inner parts trembled. At the sound, my lips quivered. Decay enters my bones, and in my place I tremble, because I must wait quietly for the day of distress, for the people to arise who will attack us. Even if the fig tree does not blossom, and there is no fruit on the vines, if the yield of the olive fails, and the fields produce no food, even if the flock disappears from the fold, and there are no cattle in the stall, yet I will triumph in the Lord. I will rejoice in the God of my salvation, and the Lord God is my strength. And he has made my feet like deer's feet, and has me walk on my high places. Man, is my strength. I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. Yet all these things can happen. Give me everything. Give me nothing. I will still rejoice. That will be ratified in heaven, y'all. Absolutely. So let's keep the faith. Let's keep the faith strong. It's tough sometimes. Sometimes it gets a little low. But let's keep in the word. Let's keep in prayer. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.